Howdy everybody in YouTube land. What we have in front of us today is a Power Macintosh G3, otherwise known as the Beige G3 Tower. So there's not much information known on this one. Got it at the consignment at VCF Southeast. But one thing I noticed right away is the mismatched color on all the plastic. Like this doesn't fit, probably because this came from a different machine. This is yellow versus this, but also these plastics are extremely loose. I have a itching suspicion it's because it's suffering from brittle plastic disease, but I don't know. So, and it appears the floppy drive is missing, and then there's a completely different aftermarket CD RW DVD ROM, which actually that's handy because it's going to make a decent bridge machine. And then on the rear, we have our personality card, couple of open slots, and that's about it. So, yeah, time to take the side of the case off, and you could tell there was different design language. They were getting into the newer language with that. So now we got to pop it apart and see what we got going on inside. So I got the cover off, and immediately, I've never worked on a Beige G3 before. I've never owned one, but it looks like I'm missing pieces. So there's a hard drive that's just kind of like randomly thrown up in there, but it looks like there was something here at one time, but I don't know what would have went there. And also where the floppy drive goes, I don't know how that would have been mounted in there. I'm missing stuff. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is in this case. So I need to figure out what I'm missing so I can get replacement stuff. Alright, so I lifted the two little plastic retaining rings up. I didn't want them breaking, so I was very careful with that. And then now we can see the board itself. So it has this sound card in it. Looks like it's a Sound Blaster Live. Now, I don't know if that's Mac compatible or not. I don't know if they ever made a Mac compatible with a Sound Blaster Live, but I don't need it, so it's coming out of there anyways. But let's see what we have in here. There's a battery in there that needs to come out. It looks like it's a, I don't know, 2001 battery, so it's original. Well, it's not original, but it's getting there. That's going to come out. The CPU clock settings jumper sticker's been removed. It's got some RAM in it. I don't know what size RAM. Let's see. What do we have in here? That looks original. 97. This machine was made in 97, so this is probably like a 64 megabyte stick. Let's see. What do we have in here? Unknown. It's newer. It's from 99. Oh, it's a 128 megabyte PC 100. So it takes standard SD RAM at least, so I can max it out. I don't know what the maximum this thing even goes would be. What kind of processor do we have? Good question, but that's not OEM. No. I know OEM, and that's not it. I don't know what that is, but it's not. I'm just curious now. 750. That's OEM. It's a 366. Yeah, that's not OEM. No. I don't know who made that. Yeah, it's trying to get this out. It's fun. There we go. Is that an Apple branded? No, Formac. That is not OEM. So this thing's had an upgrade. PPC 750, a 366. So this thing will hold a 7410, which is a G4. So that's neat. Got cache memory. Yeah, 366. Huh. This thing might be a halfway decent performer. Especially if I can get Colin to swap this chip out for me and put a 7410 in there. That would be fun. But anyways, leave that off the side because I want to put some heatsink compound on that. Because, yeah, no. Get some heatsink compound on that, but there's like some kind of crap in here. I don't know what. It's probably this crap here shedding. I'm peeling that off. We're going to use actual thermal compound, but yeah, so we have two IDE controllers here, which is not unexpected. And then we have a SCSI bus, which we're not using at all. But the most important thing is figuring out how these drives are actually supposed to be mounted in here. Oh, you know what? I should find out if this thing has the video memory expansion in it, because I don't know if it did or not. Because when I was a kid, I actually had the Beige G3 desktop, which came from my teacher, I think, back when I was in junior high. But it's been eons. I might be misremembering, but let's see. Oh, it does. It has had the 2 meg G3 3D Rage with the DVD decoder. So this thing could run like Quake 3 or whatever else. But while I have that out, apparently there was, I don't know if it was a 1394 mod or a USB mod. There's actually a mod you can do to these, but I don't remember exactly. So yeah, all right. But the important thing is I want to get rid of that battery, cause yeah, that battery is probably bad. 2001, 18th week of 01. So yeah, it's gone, no doubt. I'll put another one in it because I'm thinking about using this as my bridge machine that does all my work, especially because it has a DVD-ROM CD burner in it, and I can use it for tasks like that. And with the 366 processor, and if I max out the RAM, I could use 10.4 Fox or Interweb PPC or whatever to actually browse Macintosh Garden, download files, and then burn them with disk utility. Or boot it in OS 9 and run Toast. Roxio Toast or whatever, Adaptec Toast. But yes, that's kind of neat. So other than that, it doesn't look like there's any frills. No, nothing special. But it does not have the stock CPU. It has some upgrade CPU called Formac. So it's just definitely interesting to see. Yeah, that's just a regular old Sound Blaster Live. I don't need that card in there. That is definitely not original to the Mac, I don't think. But it's getting going out. Because I'm going to put a USB card in there, I think. USB Firewire card. Because I have one. The onboard Ethernet's only 10 megabits, which is fine for this thing, to be honest. But yeah, alright, let's go on our stash and see if we can't get some upgrades for this thing. Also, I want to take a peek at that power supply for obvious reasons. Alright, so I reinstalled the processor and did some fresh thermal paste, cleaned off all the old stuff. I went through my stash of RAM and found 3 sticks of 256, so it has 768 megs of RAM now, which is crazy for a machine like this. New battery, and personality card reinstalled. The Sound Blaster Live card is not put back in here. So let's see what happens. Hey, we get a chime. That's good. Perfect. I don't know if it's seeing all the RAM or anything yet, but hey, we're getting somewhere now. So I think the next order of business is to go grab my USB FireWire card and put in here. And yeah, start looking at the drives because I got to get. Let's see. Does the CD-ROM drive even open? No. Bad belt. So that needs service. We got to fix that. And then I got to get the floppy drive reinstalled. Alright, so I got the DVD-ROM reader burner out. And sure enough, it has a belt. I took the belt out. I have it currently boiling in the microwave. I want to see if I can restore that belt. Because again, it's going to be one of those smaller belts that I don't have the size for. So I'm waiting for that to get done. And then we can put the drive back in there. And we can work on the floppy drive next. Using a vintage computer festival coffee mug to boil belts in the water, because why not? Using vintage computer to fix vintage computer stuff. Alright, so the belt's been reinstalled. Hopefully that works now. Oh, you know what? Actually, have to plug the power in. Not going to do much without that now, is it? Yay! It works. Now, I could have wasted my time because I do not know if the laser reads. Alright. Shut you down. Get, let's see. Let me get you all reconnected back in here. Okay, you're done. I don't miss IDE or SCSI or any of that stuff. Cause SATA just, works. Alright. That's done and out of the way. Next is to grab the floppy drive bracket out of the way here. I miss the smaller Ryobi drills, but they don't make them anymore. Alright, so you not want to come out. Nope. Where are you stuck in there? There you are. There. Floppy disk drive, 3.5. Oh, you know what? You can mount a hard drive to this. So, that means in theory, that'd be a waste. I don't know. Anyways, let's see. Where are we here? Move you out of the way. Because I have you, which is a good drive. I marked it as such. I don't know what machine this came out of. This was just in my random part stash. It's a good thing I have the screws too, because I'm gonna need those. That way. I don't know why the drive was stolen to begin with. My guess is this machine was parted out because of some unknown problem with it to some degree. Oh dang, that's a Sony drive too. Alright, so you floppy disk drive. That seems right. Close enough for government work. Close enough for government work. That's kind of funny how that lines up like that. this fun? What's a negative? Too big. Alright. Good enough. It's definitely an interesting case design. Proprietary would not be the word I would ignore in this scenario. There. Floppy drive. Now we just gotta hope it's any good, because who knows. I marked it as good, but, you know, you never know me. I don't even know me sometimes. Alright, we're good. Yep, hang on. I had to go grab a floppy disk, because it's... You don't want to work half the time. Okay, let me go grab a disk. Yeah, I know it's not going to boot this one. It'll probably ignore it, but we'll see. This is 7.5 network access disk. Not doing anything. Then again, I can't see what's on the monitor yet either, so. Not exactly the best of signs. Alright, well, let me get a monitor hooked up to this thing. Alright, so I got a monitor hooked up. It still wasn't doing much. Turns out I had to start shuffling through RAM to find which ones actually work here. But I think we're good now. Yeah, that monitor is not very happy, but it's working. Thing gets super bright too. Dirty controls. Let's turn it down so the camera will sync to it better. So I think we're good. So I'm going to start getting this together, and we're going to see, because I'll put that disc in there. It reads it, but it's not going to boot it. It just says, it will not work on this Macintosh model. Well, yeah, I figured not. But it is working. So we'll go ahead and shut you down right now and get this thing in a position where we can actually do something. But I put the 3 biggest sticks in there that I had. I'll have to read what it shows up in the system. But also, I had to use my dip switch adapter because the NEC adapter, which goes with this monitor, won't sync. It just, yeah. Anyways, so. Alright, okay, let me go get some discs and get this thing flipped up and get stuff situated so I can actually work with this thing here. So I got it started up on CD, and I'm starting to notice that it's extremely unstable. There's some issues going on here. 512 RAM. I don't know why it's being dumb. Yeah, that's an issue. Oh, yeah, that's strange. Yeah. Seems to be working fine. It's just, it's very unstable. I don't know why that is. Anyways, yeah, it's being weird. Oops. Yeah, look at that. I find that strange. Maybe we'll figure out. I'm going to start up OS X and see where we go with that. Yeah, that's, no. That's not good. So, oh, could be a couple things. It could be the RAM that's on the motherboard, because I noticed there was a tab broken on that corner. Or, it could be the main system memory. I might have to start doing the RAM juggle again and figure out what's going on, because there is something definitely up here. Meanwhile, in the background, we have a severe thunderstorm coming in, so we got that going on too. At the same time, simultaneously, because that is over here. Yeah, buddy, look at all that. Yeah, so I might have to come back to this. Alright, so what we're doing now is we're running the Mac Test Pro emergency disk. I found online through archive.org. It's not on the Macintosh Garden, but it is on the archive.org. So, sees the RAM, logic board test passed. Now it's running the RAM test, and we'll see what this does. I really think it's a processor issue. The person that sold this machine to me said that it was very unstable, and then he put a Encore G4 in it, and the problems went away. So it might be this specific G3 chip in here. There could be a problem with it. There could be a problem with the L2 cache. I don't know. So I figured, well, I might as well roll out the RAM and everything else. And if all of this passes, it's definitely the CPU. I even took out the video memory just to roll that out and see what happens. So, yeah, that's not looking too great for the processor. So, the RAM test passed, everything passed. So, we've got a processor issue. I don't know why, but we do. Yeah, this is what I mean. Mouse. Frozen. It's been, yeah, I think anyways. I think the processor is bad on that one. Yeah, see, it's completely locked up. It's weird. I definitely think something's going on with the processor that's in there. So I'm looking at the manual here, version A and version B of this card. It looks like I have version A. So I need to figure out which way it goes. So switch 1, CPU settings on switch 1, which is in the bottom here. So off, on, off. That's right. And then we've got off, on switch 2. So off, on, off. Well, that's wrong. Because it's supposed to be on, off. So switch 1 is switched down. That ain't right. So, because at no point does switch 1... Okay, yeah. We're going to have to fix that. That might be our issue. Actually, I was looking at the wrong thing. We're running version A, which is late right. Late right's down here. Off, on, off. Okay, that's right. Because I just flipped it to this one and it doesn't work at all, so... Okay, well, I'm wondering if I switch them all off, if it disables the cache completely. Because I wonder if I have bad L2 cache on that board. Anything's possible. No, that doesn't work either. And it's on, so... okay, well, I might have to start looking for another CPU. Well, wait a minute. I just heard it kick on. See if it'll boot from CD. It just took a very long time. Alright, well, let's see if this starts all the way up without freezing. Because it's running right now. Yeah, it's running upside down somehow. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, I'm kind of all over the place in this video. Because I didn't expect this to be a problem, but, yeah, I mean, this machine was cheap at consignment, so I'm not surprised. Yeah, I can tell it took a performance hit disabling that cache. Hey, it didn't crash. Let's see what happens here. Run Mac Test Pro. Because this wouldn't run before. Oh, it's running. Yep, the L2 cache is bad. That's exactly what it is. The L2 cache is bad on the chip. So one of these two BGAs is bad. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. So we got to change the L2 cache. Yeah, so okay. I don't want to do any floppy drive tests. Logic, RAM, test videos, software, don't care. Alright, so let's test it all. Yeah. Now it's working. The damn L2 cache is bad. Well, crap. Okay. At least we know what it is. At least we know what it is. So I'm running all tests. And they are passing. I've already went through the test number 1, the main test, and then I'm doing a RAM test, extensive RAM test, and it's so far so good. So that tells me that CPU has just got bad L2 cache. Such a shame. But it is what it is. So it's going to have to run like that for now until I get a replacement processor. I'll have to put that on my list and then deal with it. I might send that off to DOS Dude 1 and have him swap out the cache chips and then possibly swap out the CPU for a faster one maybe. I don't know. I have to figure that out. But for now, I'm just stuck with that. So I'll just leave that alone. Well, I've been petering with this thing for hours and the situation has devolved pretty rapidly. Now, come to find out, it was not liking this SATA to IDE adapter. Once I put a real IDE hard drive in there, I was able to install OS 9.2 and run it. But then Mac OS 10 was like, oh, sorry, it's got to be within 8 gigabytes. It's too big. So then I started up 10.2, went to partition it, rebooted it, and put the 9.2 disk back in, and now it won't start anymore. It won't start anymore. So I unplugged the hard drive, I pulled the battery, I reset the CUDA, I did all of that, and it will not start 9.2. I don't know why. There's some weird situation going on with that now. I don't know. I'm kind of out of ideas at this point. I think, yeah, I have the cache disabled on this chip, but I don't know. I'm running out of patience because I don't know where to go with this. I don't have any spare parts to put in here to do anything. So it turns out one of my 256 sticks of RAM had decided to drop out, and that's what was causing all my problems after it's passed the RAM test multiple times. And so I just took it out and shoved the 128 in there because that's all I have. And finally, we're getting somewhere. I got Mac OS 9.2 installed, which allowed me to install X post facto, which allows you to install Tiger, which is what this is. So Tiger is being installed right now. Again, it only works with the 40 gigabyte real IDE hard drive and not this adapter, unfortunately. So, however, there's a way to get a SI3112 SATA card with a custom firmware on it to work in these machines. So it's possible I could buy one of those Chinese cards, reflash the chip, and then make this thing work with a more modern hard drive, which ultimately I think I want to do. Because this is going to be my bridge machine where my entire files cache is going to reside. And I think having that hard drive would work better. So I'm going to order a card, but also I want to order the replacement chips to fix the cache memory that's on that card. I don't have the right preheater and stuff like that to do BGA here anymore, not like I did in the old days, but I can wing it, I think. So that's where we stand right now. So yeah, it's late, it's almost 11 o'clock at night, and I'm usually in bed by now, so I'm going to bed, and I'm going to let this run overnight. Watching this load out is absolutely hilarious because it's taking me back to the old days, the old dial-up days, because I remember distinctly I used to have a handful of old 7200 120 machines, and I remember running Internet Explorer 5.5 with Mac OS 9 on it, and it would take forever to load websites. It's kind of the same thing. So like yeah, it's just it's not exactly, no, it's not fast at all, but it's kind of cool that you can load this. So I think I'm about as far as I can go with this thing at the current moment in time until I get some extra stuff in here. See, this is worth putting a little bit of money into because this would make an excellent bridge machine from the new world to the old world, because this can do pretty much everything. It can run Mac OS 9, it can run Mac OS 10 with interweb PPC 10.4 Fox to browse whatever you need to browse slowly, but it will do it. And you can use the floppy drive. This thing already has a CD-RW DVD-ROM, so the only thing I want to do now is I need to get a new faceplate and shield for this, because this one's broken, missing. I want to get a zip drive face for that, which is expensive, but I can get them. That'll allow me to use zip disks, right? And then also I got to do something with the CPU card because it's defective. I don't know if I want to replace it or fix it or what yet. I want to get the SATA card in there so I can use a more modern hard drive. I already got a USB card and all that stuff in there, and all of that is fine. And with OS 9, at least I can use the floppy drive if I need it and things like that. So I'm going to have to break this off into a 2-part video, especially when I get the money in to be able to get the parts I need to make this thing perfectly right. And this will probably replace my 6500 machine because, you know, this is faster and I don't really need the 6500 anymore once I have everything I need for that machine. So, yeah, it's worth putting a little bit of money into to get this thing right. So, anyways, I'm going to have to end it here, though, because I don't have any of the parts right now to do what I need to do, and who knows when I'm going to get it. So, anyways, if you have a comment, and if you like this kind of content, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and all of that fun stuff. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching.